Broadcasting live from a hollowed out tree stump in the middle of no man's land. You've reached Married with Comedy with Jeff Onyx and Joe Chandler. Strap in, boys and girls, and keep your arms and legs in the vehicle at all times, cause it's gonna get bumpy.
Bumpy. Yeah. So, welcome to Married with Comedy. I'm Jeff Onyx. So, on today's show, we're going to have some really good fun. We're going to do all kinds of cool stuff. So, you can be part of the show. Go to YouTube, clickety-clack, tickety-tack, type in your stuff. Let us know what's up. And then that way, you can be part of the show, too. Yeah, you can be part of the show. Later on, we're going to have James R. Freeman joining us, and we're going to have Joe Chandler joining us later on in the show. So, without further ado, let's get to the show. Today's trivia, Ahhhh Snap, question is, which mammal has no vocal cords? Which mammal has no vocal cords? You can leave a comment, let us know what's up with the what's up. If you're watching the live stream, clickety-clack, tickety-tack, let us know what you think. Which animal does not have a, vocal cord, or does not have vocal cords, rather. So, yeah. So that's what's going on with that. All right. We're going to do This Week in Comedy History. Yeah. So we're going to be talking about that dude right there. Oh my gosh. Why is my stuff all different? Oh, I know. That's the one I need. That guy. That guy right there. Marty. So Marty Ingels. Marty Ingels. Marty Ingels was born March 9th, 1936 as Martin Ingerman, and he died October 21st, 2015. He was born in Brooklyn, in the Brooklyn area of New York City in New York. So this dude is an actor, a comedian. He was an actor, a comedian, a sketch comedian, a comedy sketch writer, a theatrical agent. His acting career dates way back to the early 60s. He's best known for a short-lived ABC TV series that I guess it was his own show. He co-starred in the 60s TV series I'm Dickens, He's Fenster with John Astin from Addams Family. He was in there with that guy, Sean Astin's dad. And that lasted 32 episodes for only one season from 1962 to 1963. You might not know, he was also a voice artist, voicing Beagle in the Great Grape Ape Show, and also the voice of the title character in the animated series adaptation of the 1980 video game Pac-Man. And he was doing that as late as 2010. So, that dude, Marty. Yeah, Marty. So, boom. You know, that was This Week in Comedy History. Yeah. So the next thing here, Ghetto Chef. Okay, today's Ghetto Chef, I don't have any little props to show you. I don't have a link or anything like that. This is basically a really, really, really simple recipe. Write it down if you want to. Preheat your oven for like 400 degrees, maybe 425. 425. Just say 425. And you in like a casserole dish, you put some white rice, like a cup of white rice. Put it in there, and then you put some chicken or meat or beef. Well, if you do chicken, here let's do chicken first. So the rice, then you dry off some chicken breasts, and you put some chicken breast, boneless chicken breasts, on top of the rice. On top of that, while that's sitting there, over in another bowl, you mix together some cream of chicken soup and almost 2 cups. I'll just say 2 cups. 2 cups of water, just a little less, a little shy of 2 cups of water. Mix that up real good. Pour that over the top of the chicken and the rice. And then over the top of that, you take some onion soup, dry onion soup mix, and you sprinkle that over the top of everything. Put a piece of foil over the top of that, over the top of the casserole dish, really tight around, seal it all the way around, really tight. Put it in the oven, cook it for like an hour and 15 minutes. Check it after like an hour to hour and 15 minutes. Perfectly cooked. You don't even have to like mess with it. So that's the first recipe. Second way to do this, and you can do it with pretty much any meat and any kind of cream of soup. Second recipe, throw the rice in there. Throw some, let's say, beef tips, roast beef, stew meat, whatever. And then in the bowl, you mix cream of mushroom soup and a little less than 2 cups of water, and then pour that over the top. And then over the top of that, sprinkle on the French or the onion soup mix, and then seal it with foil. Put it in the oven for like an hour and 15 minutes, and then it'll come out like tasty good. You could use pretty much any kind of meat. You could throw in some pork. Just make sure that the cream of whatever soup is complementary to whatever meat you're using. So like that's why I use cream of mushroom soup for beef, because beef goes good with mushrooms. I guess chicken would go good with mushrooms too. And then cream of chicken soup goes good with chicken. So that's the ghetto chef. Ghetto chef. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and try to get Jimmy on the phone, because it's going to be like, I call him Jimmy. You can't call him Jimmy. It's James R. Freeman. I'm going to try to get him on the phone early, because the 2 segments we have with him are going to be like really epic long. So we got to have him on the phone. Wow. I gotta turn that up. There you go. Boom.
This is Jay.
Nope.
You've reached my voicemail.
Not around. He sent me a message. He said to call me right back. All right, then. So we'll go back to the trivia question. The trivia question is, which mammal has no vocal cords? In the chitty chat, clickety clack, let us know. In the comments, leave a comment, whatever. Also, you may notice that in the description of past shows, what we're doing is we're putting the episode, or the within the episode we have segments, yeah? And those segments, what we're doing is we're putting a timestamp to the location of each of those segments in the description. So if for some reason you don't like, or you really, really love a specific segment, you can click to jump to that specific segment and then watch that specific segment. Or if you really, really like one of the segments, you want to share it with somebody, you can copy, I guess you can copy that. I'm pretty sure you can. You can copy the link to the segment and then tell somebody, hey, you got to go check out this show. It's really awesome because there's a really sexy, fine guy on the show, and he does his show really nice. So I shaved. You may have noticed I shaved. So yeah, in the description, we're gonna have that for now on. You can click to a specific section of the show. Hopefully one of these days we'll be able to get to the point where we take the segments and break them off and make them their own little short things and give them their own playlists. That's the goal. The goal is to take this show and make all those little segments have their own playlist. Yeah. I'm drinking soda pop. I'm not supposed to drink soda pop, but I'm drinking soda pop because it was here. I left it over there. So since it was here, I drink it. Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, I'll call you right back. Okay, man. You call me right back. Whatever. So when we get Jay on the phone, we're going to be talking about the science denier of the week and the conjecture of fact. So yeah. I guess while we're waiting for him to jump on, we could do the Outpost Survival Tip of the week. So no, we're not. No, we're not. We're not going to do the Outpost Survival Tip of the week because joining us on the phone right now is James R. Freeman. Hello, sir.
How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing sexy fine. Sexy fine. So welcome to the show. Are you going to be like in the car?
I am not in the car. I am at work.
Oh,
I didn't know how that'll go today, but I just started back to work this week. So
you're going to get in trouble. Well, okay, then I'm just going to jump into it. All right?
All right.
All right. So the science denier of the week this week is, what's his name?
Crap.
What? IGNAZ?
Are you sure?
IGNAZ?
Sure
what?
IGNAZ SEMMELWEIS?
Semmelweis?
I don't know. I can't pronounce that either.
It almost makes me want to say Yngwie Malmsteen.
Does he play guitar?
He plays guitar, yeah. Yngwie. This guy doesn't. It'd be funnier if he did. It'd be better. So there he's on the screen. That's how you pronounce his name or spell his name. IGNAZ Semmelweis. He was born in 1860. Okay, this guy. And that apparently is a picture of a copper plate engraving of the guy so that people can make copies of his portrait. So, somebody vain much? Okay. So this guy is considered to be the patron saint of hand washing. Today it's considered common to wash your hands to stay healthy, to get rid of germs and stuff like that. Me personally, I think if you wash your hands too much, you actually eliminate your ability to build an immune system. You know? What did George Carlin say? A lot of people, they go in the bathroom, they wash their hands after every time they go to the bathroom. And he said, the only time I wash my hands is when I shit on myself.
Oh.
And that only happens like 3-4 times a week, tops. That's what George Carlin said. So,
yeah, that's funny. I don't remember hearing that, but that's funny.
Yeah. Most people today won't even eat a meal without washing their hands. Some definitely wouldn't perform surgery. But as recently as the mid-1800s, a majority of medical professionals thought it was just fine to go directly from performing an autopsy on a dead body to operating on a live person without even walking past a bar of soap on their way. They wouldn't even wash their hands or wipe off their hands or nothing. They go directly from one thing to the next thing. So, isn't that gross?
It's pretty gross, but also the funny part is it had to start somewhere. Somebody had to notice it. You know?
You know what's funny is I'd never heard of this guy, but the person that I remember being attributed to washing hands was a doctor that was reading the Bible, and the Bible kept saying to wash your hands in running water.
Really?
Yeah, he was reading the Bible and he read the part of it where it said if you have blood on your hands or stuff, you have dirty hands, you go wash 7 times in the river. And the running water
Yeah.
would clean your hands.
I think
So,
I know what you're getting at there.
huh?
I said, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So at the time, there were physicians who made a connection between hand washing and mortality rates. But this guy apparently was the first one to notice that women had a higher rate of infection after childbirth in a hospital than midwives who were giving birth or who were helping women give birth at home. And that probably had to do with doctors weren't washing their hands at the hospital, and the midwife was only working with one individual. So,
Gotcha.
and they also figured out that the surgeons were actually working on corpses between birthing babies and not washing their hands. So apparently the Encyclopedia Britannica reports that when Semmelweis ordered the students and doctors under him to wash their hands with chlorine before delivering babies, the mortality rate dropped from nearly 19% to less than 2%. So, craziness.
Chlorine, that's interesting. So
But
bleach your hands first.
bleach your hands. But that didn't win him any converts. His fellow doctors were insulted that he would suggest that they were the cause of disease instead of the cure and mocked him mercilessly. So he was way ahead of his time. And at the time, they called him a science denier because they're like, this is settled science, you idiot.
And that's that Rockefeller medical establishment too. So
yeah. So
that's not very kind to people who try to divert from the norm.
Yeah. So, in the 1800s, the Rockefellers were around.
The Rockefellers, yes.
In 18
I don't
whatever.
think they were funding. I don't think they were funding the medical establishment back then, no.
Huh. Mm-hmm. So after
by the early 1900s, yeah, John D. Rockefeller was. I mean, he was like 80 in 1900, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Well, this is 1865, so maybe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure John D. was around, but if not, it was just his dad.
Well,
so.
you will love this. After years of trying fruitlessly to have his findings taken seriously by other doctors and not being listened to and being called a lunatic and an idiot, he suffered a mental breakdown in 1865, was sent to a mental hospital where he died.
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But he died from an infected wound he'd suffered while operating.
No.
So even though he was in a mental hospital, they still allowed him to do surgeries.
That's funny.
Could you imagine? You're in an insane asylum, and you're still being a doctor, or you're like, hey, you know who's a really good doctor? That crazy guy. I hear he's batshit crazy. Let's go have
like
that guy.
Show Fringe, yeah. Where they lost. Have you seen that show, Fringe?
Nah, I might have seen it. 1 or 2 episodes. I don't know.
They lock him in a mental institution because they don't want him to tell. They don't want him to tell anybody about what's happening because the whole show is about the veil thinning between 2 dimensions.
Oh.
Right. So they put him in a mental institution, and when the veil starts getting real thin and things start crossing over, they go and get him real quick.
Bro, you got to watch this Netflix thing Melissa and I watched last night.
What was it?
Black Mirror, but it was called The Bandersnatch.
Yes, I like that one. Yeah, the movie.
The movie, but it's an interactive movie.
Yeah.
Where you make choices.
Yeah.
And you can interact with the actors in the movie.
Yep. It's like my kid does. She has one for Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. They do the same kind of thing.
Bro, we were watching that movie.
Adventure.
We got through the movie, and then after the credits, it let you go back and do stuff again, right?
Right.
And then Melissa was looking it up, and she was like, you know, if we keep doing this, you could be doing this for like 5 hours. I'm not watching a movie for 5 hours, especially if they keep replaying the same scenes like that. So
That's funny. That's like the time me and my wife we did shrooms and watched that movie Looper.
yeah, Looper.
But we were so high that we didn't notice that it restarted. You know how sometimes them DVDs restart themselves?
Yeah.
If you leave them too long, this one restarted itself, and we were watching it a second time, and I was like, wait a minute, what the hell is going on? We done seen this like 4 or 5 times.
Melissa was like, you got to tell Marty about this movie so he can get stoned while he's watching it. I was like, I think Marty gets stoned watching every movie. I don't think you have to tell him about it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Why would you watch a movie without it?
Exactly. All right, so we're jumping on with the conjecture or fact. You ready for the conjecture or fact?
Yes, this is what I've been waiting for.
This is the one you've been waiting for. All right, so we're gonna be exploring this article, and the article is entitled "Hail the Hydra, an animal that may be immortal," and it's about the Hydra. So, yeah. So
Clones itself like a pot plant.
yeah. So by the way, I'm gonna read this, and then I'm gonna go back and look at the Wikipedia for this because it refutes some of this stuff. So here we go.
All right.
An ancient Greek myth talked about a Hydra, which is a multi-head monster that grew 2 more heads every time one was lost. So every time you cut off a head, 2 more would grow. And the mythical beast became, harder to kill. So there was a study done by this guy. I can't even remember his name. Daniel Martinez. Okay, and unlike most multi-molecular species, the Hydra don't show any signs of deteriorating with age, according to new research published December 7th. I don't know what December 7th, what year, in the journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Science.
Pearl Harbor Day, huh?
Yeah. So this guy basically, he wanted to do an experiment to prove that Hydra could not have escaped aging. He was trying to do he says he was trying to do an experiment that proved that they did age. Right? And he's like, so, yeah. So the Hydra, just in case you don't know, it's an invertebrate. It has little tiny tubes with tentacles protruding out of one end. The Hydra grows about less than ½ an inch long. And they eat smaller aquatic animals. So that's what they eat.
Really?
They're known for their regenerative capabilities. Most of their body cells are stem cells. The cells are capable of continuous division and differentiation into any cell type in the body. So in humans, totipotent cells are present only in the first few days of embryonic development, but the Hydra, by contrast, constantly renews their body with fresh cells throughout their entire life. By the way, also they skip, they stay in the polyp stage. You know, like other animals in this grouping that are similar to this, they reach a certain age and then they turn into another. You know, they develop into another level of animal. You know what I'm saying? But this one stays in that polyp stage, and the other animals similar to it don't. So this guy created an island paradise for 2,256 hydras. So over 8 years, the researchers gave them change of water 3 times a week. They got meals of fresh brine shrimp to eat. So they always had fresh water. They had ideal an ideal environment for them to do their thing. They basically took care of these Hydra, and the death rates held constant at 1 per 167 Hydras per year. So 1 out of 167 Hydras per year died. There you go. They're not immortal, dork. He just said they die. If they die, they're not immortal.
Right.
No matter their age, the oldest animals studied were clones of the original Hydra that had been around for about 41 years. Though individuals were only studied for 8 years, some were biologically older because they were genetic clones. Likewise, fertility remained constant for about 80% of the individual Hydras over the time. The other 20% fluctuated up and down, likely because of the laboratory conditions. Oh, so you know, if you find something that doesn't fit your narrative, you're going to go ahead and say, it's because of the laboratory conditions. And the guy said,
Einstein said just because humans are doing the experiments are always messed up. So
exactly, there's going to be something wrong. So this dude Martinez said, I do believe that an individual Hydra can live forever under the right circumstances. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Almost any creature can live forever under the right circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Under the right circumstances. Yeah. Define right circumstances.
Right. Well, and if you haven't been able to duplicate those circumstances, then whatever you're saying is probably not
true.
Well, not provable.
Not provable.
Yeah. It's hard to tell if it's true or not if you can't do the experiment. It's like I told you about the Earth. Everyone thinks that the Earth is in motion, but there's never been an experiment that has produced that.
Yeah, exactly.
The flatness of the Earth, well, I mean, you know, we can debate about topography. We can debate about whether or not, you know, it's a flat plane or blah, 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 blah. But what we do know is it is hard to duplicate an experiment that shows curvature.
Yeah.
In places like where you have a lake, the water is basically flat because water goes to a level. And you can zoom out, like they tell you, oh, well, you know, there's so much curvature. That's why you can't see the bottom of the boat. But then you zoom out with the camera and you can see the boat. And there's supposed to be like 100 feet of drop off between you and that boat, but there ain't.
Yeah. So
to me, there are a lot of experiments out there where they just say, oh, well, we couldn't duplicate it, but that's just because you can't.
Yeah. And then they throw out that we couldn't duplicate it. So that proves that we're right.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
So this guy said that in the wild, disease, predators, and water contamination kill off the Hydras before they can achieve immortality. But the findings that he found fly in the face of old models that assume that all animals must decline with age. Martinez said, and that means that studying Hydra could help scientists unravel the mystery of why most animals do age. Whatever.
Well, it's not like any other animal, so it's kind of odd, but I guess they're going to try to find out the difference between that animal and other animals and see if they can.
Exactly.
I mean, it sounds to me like they, excuse me, they want to have that Wolverine type ability where, you know, you can rapidly heal yourself or whatnot. So
yeah.
Technically not immortal, because if you die, you die. But if you don't die completely, your body will bring itself back.
Exactly. All right.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Now we're going to look at the Wikipedia. So the Wikipedia says Hydra is a genus of small freshwater organisms. By the way, if they're not immortal because you put them in salt water, guess what happens? They die. They're freshwater organisms of the phylum Syndria and class Hydrozoa.
Yeah.
They're native to the temperate and tropical regions. Biologists are especially interested in the Hydra because of their regenerative ability. They don't appear to die of old age or to age at all. So Wikipedia says that too. The Hydra is a tubular, radially symmetric body that is about 0.39 inches long, so less than a half inch long. When fully
wow.
when fully extended, they
Sorry. Poor guy. 3/4 of an inch fully extended. Wow.
So
that
they
sucks.
have a simple adhesive foot known as a basal disc gland. The basal discs secrete a sticky fluid that accounts for its adhesive properties. So it basically secretes an adhesive, a sticky fluid. At the end of the body is a mouth opening surrounded by 1 to 12 thin, mobile tentacles. Each tentacle, or nine, whatever, tentacle. It's clothed with a highly specialized stinging cell called Cnidocytes? Cnidocytes? Okay, cnidocytes? I don't know. And they contain a specialized structure called... Dude, why do I have to pick all this crap that I can't pronounce? Nematocysts? Nematocysts? Which look like little miniature light bulbs with a coiled thread inside. At the narrow outer edge of the tentacle is a short trigger hair called nidicil. Upon contact with the prey, the content of the cyst thing are explosively discharged, firing a dart. So it fires like a dart-like thing, and it has a thread or a string connected to it. So it tethers the thing and then pulls it in.
Interesting.
And it has neurotoxins in the dart, and it can paralyze the prey. And it can fire more than one of these little cysts at a time. They can fire hundreds if they wanted to.
Wow. Now that's probably why they have the regenerative properties.
Yeah, because they're like dicks.
Firing off pieces of themselves. They got to be able to replace that, or they can only shoot so many bullets, right?
Right. So I'm gonna look at my notes here because the Hydra. Boom, 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 boom. There's this guy named Linnaeus, Linnaeus, Linnaeus. In 1758, he discovered the Hydra, and he's the one that first discovered it and started naming it. So it was discovered in 1758. Is that crazy?
Yeah. Does it explain why he called it Hydra?
He called it Hydra because it reminded him of the Greek Hydra. The Greek.
Oh, the whatchamacallit?
The Hydra the Hydra from the mythology.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what they call those.
It was called a Hydra.
No, I mean, I keep wanting to say Titans, but they're called something else. But yeah, I get you. There's like a title that they give those creatures in mythology.
You mean
That's what I was trying to think
like the Greek gods and stuff?
Right, it means something like monster or something like that. Or I'm trying to think, and I can't think of the other thing that I'm trying to think of.
Well,
to make
I know
me think of this thing.
They had
You know
Leviathan, and they had a whole bunch of other ones in there. Behemoth and Leviathan, which are both found in the Bible. Oh, what? Okay.
Yes.
So, anyway, so let's see. So, I'm trying to read it because a single Hydra is composed of over 50,000 to 100,000 cells, which consist of 3 specific stem cells.
Ooh, you just said the magic word there.
So these stem cells will continually renew themselves in the body column. Hydras have 2 significant structures on their body, the head and the foot. When the Hydra is cut in half, each half will regenerate and form into a small Hydra the head will generate a foot and the foot will generate a new head. If the Hydra is sliced in many segments, then the middle slices will form both a head and a foot. So it knows which side of the body's been messed with.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Respiration and excretion occur by diffusion throughout the surface of the epidermis, while large excreta are discharged through the mouth. It has a nervous system. So their structure of their nervous system has 2 levels. Level 1 is sensory cells or internal cells, and level 2 are interconnected ganglion cell synapsi, and epithelial or motor cells. So it has 2 levels of a nervous system. Pretty crazy, huh? No? You still there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I hit my mute button accidentally there.
Oh, if the Hydra are alarmed or attacked, the tentacles can be retracted to small buds, and the body column itself can be retracted to a small gelatinous sphere. Hydra generally react in the same way regardless of the direction of the stimuli, and this may be due to the simplicity of their nerve system or nerve net. Hydra are generally sedentary or sensile, but do occasionally move quite readily, especially when hunting. So when they're hunting, they'll move around. They have 2 distinct methods of moving: looping and somersaulting.
Okay. Does that attract prey or something?
No, it's how they get around. They do this by bending over and attaching themselves to the substrate with their mouth and tentacles, then relocate the foot to another area, and it provides the usual attachment. And then that process is called looping, where they do their head they attach their mouth, then they attach their feet or foot. So they attach their mouth or their butt to the whatever they're walking on.
Interesting.
Crazy. When food is plentiful, many Hydra reproduce asexually by budding. The buds from their body wall grow into mature adults and break away from the body when they're mature. So they could just create new ones. Just
interesting.
When the Hydra are well fed, a new bud can form every 2 days. When conditions are harsh, often before winter or in poor feeding conditions, sexual reproduction occurs in some Hydra, swelling the body wall to develop into either ovaries or testes. The testes release stuff into the water, and those fertilize eggs that are released from the ovaries of other individuals. So they could either just reproduce randomly by just creating another one off themselves, or if it's really difficult food conditions, they'll reproduce
and then eat themselves.
Yeah, male and female. I think it's funny how they don't say females have ovaries and males have testes. I think that's interesting.
I wonder if the Hydra is transformative in that way.
Yeah. And other species of Hydra, or other species similar to Hydras, are hermaphrodites.
Oh.
So there's other kinds of Hydras. So there's like the regular Hydra, and then there's the Hydra circumcincta, and the Hydra verdismata. Dude, I'm not pronouncing none of this shit right. Anyway, so they polyp. Other creatures within their similar to them will change from polyp to an adult called a medusa.
Of course it is.
But because these ones don't need to become full quote unquote adult, they stay in the polyp stage all the time. So they never progress past the polyp phase.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
Sorry, man. Oh, that's probably loud.
That's crazy. So what do you think about the Hydra?
I think that's pretty impressive stuff, man.
Yeah.
That's good researching you did there, Jeff.
Well, there's even more. Daniel Martinez claimed in 1998 in an article about the Hydra, and this publication's been widely cited as evidence that Hydra do not age, and that they are proof of existence of non-aging organisms. In 2010, though, Preston Estep published another letter where he refuted the hypothesis that the hydras actually do age. The controversy over it is that they say there's an unlimited lifespan of the Hydra. And this dude was like, nope, you're wrong. So now people are doing studies that say no, they don't live forever.
Interesting.
Isn't that crazy?
That is really crazy. And I wonder what people are going to think when they find out these people have been putting that in their little syringes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's creepy. If anybody wants to look up Dr. Carrie Madej, Madej, she's talking about the similar kind of things and looking at those through a microscope.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's even broached that, but if you're paying attention, look that up.
Yeah.
See what she has to say. I'm not a big fan of Stu Peters' show, but she's on there from time to time.
Okay.
She talks about what she found, and that's the one that said the darn thing tried to get up off the slide she was looking at.
Well, yeah, because they're big. When they can be big, they can be really tiny, or they could be almost a half inch. 0.39 inches is almost a half inch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The other guy said 0.4 inches.
Oh,
0.39 and 0.4 is quite a bit of difference, buddy. Mr. Can't do your science right. So they're actually saying that genetically, the Hydra share a minimum of 6,071 genes with a human.
Wow, that's weird.
Craziness.
Yeah, it explains why the crazy people thought it would work, too.
The genome is approximately 300 megabytes in size. In contrast, the brown hydras approximately have 1 gigabyte in size. What is this megabytes and gigabytes? They're talking about of data? Genome data?
Well, you know why they're doing that, though.
That's lame.
They're trying to quantify human existence.
Yeah, they're trying to quantify. They're trying to quantum leapify this stuff.
Yeah, I guess that does have a double connotation to it.
It does, because they're trying to quantify. I don't know what that means, but yeah, I'm all over that. Whatever.
You know, I hope I live to be 100 for one thing and one thing only.
Sex?
No. No. I want to see what this is going to be like when we get on the other side of this thing. People start realizing what really happened.
Melissa said that people are like when they're carded, because you have to show your ID to tell if you're like able to buy certain things, and they'll card you really quick. They'll just look at your thing and real quick. So the dude asks, "What? Why is it so quick?" Well, because all I'm doing is looking for the 1900. If it says 1900 anywhere in there, I know you're old enough.
That's smart.
Yeah. So
shortcut.
Dude, next week's back in the day, I'm gonna talk about how old I am. And yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm really old. Dude, I'm so old.
You ain't older than me.
Yeah, dude. You know how old I am?
2 years. It's 2 years older, isn't it? You'll be 50 soon, ain't it?
I'm over 50. I am
Nuh-uh.
eggs are healthy, eggs are unhealthy, eggs are healthy, eggs are unhealthy again. That old.
That's funny.
You know what I mean? Because they tell you over time that something's good for you, and then they say it's bad for you, and then it's good for you, and then it's bad for you. That's how old I am. Eggs are bad.
and bacon are on that list quite often.
Yeah, eggs are bad for you again. So, whatever.
And bacon wouldn't be so bad for you if they didn't put all that crap in it. Literally, nitrates and nitrites are crap. So people didn't know that.
Dude, the smoker guy at Price Chopper, he smokes bacon.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so good when it's smoked. And then he smoked turkey bacon, like thin turkey strips. Also very good. Very, very good. Yeah, I'm into bacon. I like bacon. So, was that good? Did you enjoy that conjecture of fact?
Of course. Nice little break from my work, too. See?
See, you got a break from work. I don't know anything about no breaking from work. So, yeah.
You're on a permanent break, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm on a permanent break. Yeah, thanks for bringing it up, Dick. No.
That's where we're all trying to get, man. I thought you'd be happy.
You know, back when I wanted to not work anymore, I was like, damn, it'd be great if I didn't work anymore. Now it's like, now my hands don't work. That's not good. My hands don't work anymore.
It's not good, you know.
Whatever.
With all the working and stuff, and then, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna kick you off of the phone because
Bye.
we did the conjecture fact and we did the science denier of the week. Did you enjoy both of those?
Every week.
Every week.
I enjoy it.
Well, and I'm gonna try to be sending you the information, like what we're talking about, so then that way you can go look at it, and then that way you can be a bit more talkative about it. So.
Oh yeah, you do that already. I don't know if you know that.
I'm so glad you didn't talk about the Hydras being injected into people with the jab.
Well, I tried not to say too much, but I did allude to that.
You alluded to it, yeah, because the jab. We can't say what it is, but that's what people are saying. The jab.
The Jabberwocky.
The Jabberwocky. Yeah. All right, then. I'm going to hang up on the phone.
All right, man. I'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
That was James R. Freeman hanging out with me. Yeah, James R. Freeman. That was Conjecture Fact. Boom. All right, so now we're going to do the Outpost Survival Tip of the Week. This week's Outpost Survival Tip of the Week is try to keep some kind of digging tool in your bug out bag, in your car. Of course, people probably have a digging device in their home. Most likely have a digging device in your home. But in your bug out bag, you may have something in your bug out bag. This is a folding shovel. Folding shovel. Well, having the light like that's a lot better. Not too glary. Not too glary. Okay. So this is a folding shovel, and the way that this shovel works is you unscrew this thing, which allows it to fold out, boom, 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 like that. Allows this to fold out like that, and you screw that back in there like this. Tighten it, tighten it, tighten it, tighten it. Okay, so this is a basic folding shovel. Folding shovel gets that big. Has a nice okay handle, and it's got a nice spade on the end of it. Not very sharp, but it doesn't need to be, especially if you're just digging a hole in the ground. Yeah. The only thing I don't understand. Oh yeah, okay. When you tighten this down, this thing right here tightens up also. So when you tighten this down, it also tightens this down, so this doesn't move. because this folds when you, just like this folds. So there's a shovel. So you can use that to, oh my gosh. What was that? Oh, I touched the I touched the microphone. So you can use that to I wonder if I could do the top down. Let's see. Where's the top down? Boom. Okay, so you get a better idea of it. It's got a nice spade on the front of it. This is the adjustment thing with the threads. You unscrew that to be able to fold it. And when you unscrew this, it also loosens this so the handle can fold. And you got this handle. So you can dig, so you can hold from here. And you can hold from here. So it's also got these serrated edge pieces here. So like if you're digging and you run into roots, or you're digging and you run into something and you got to cut through it, that's what that's for. So you can cut through roots. This one hasn't been used. You can see there's like fingerprints and stuff on it because it hasn't been used. So these, that's what the serrated edge part is. It's supposed to be so you can cut through stuff. I wouldn't go chopping down, try to chop down trees or whatever with it, but I'm sure if you wanted to chop down a small sapling, you could chop it with that and get it done pretty good. But I'd say, you know, a sapling that's maybe that, like that big, that wide, and this would be like roots. So, and I've used a folding shovel just like this for stuff before, and they work pretty good. So, and then it has these reinforcement notches there. So that's the folding shovel. Let's turn it over. Look at the back. So it's got a, you can see it's concaved. Let's look at the profile. So it's got concave, and the tip is bent up a little bit. These are the screws to hold it together. I would say that when you're using it, that would probably get in the way. And this one is a safety alert. Please use caution. This is a Tex Sport shovel. Tex Sport. So that's a Tex Sport shovel. So we'll undo it. Yep. So loosening that up loosens this up. The more you loosen it, loosens this up, and this, so you can fold it. So it folds like that and like this. Wow, that was loud. Someone once said that what you could do also is take it sideways like this. And use it as a pick. Use it like that. And use it as a pick. So we'll look at that on here. See? Like that. And use it as a pick. Yeah. So if you needed to, you could use that as a pick. Thank you, Mrs. Onyx. Mrs. Onyx is telling me that this is, my description is way in depth for a shovel. But people need to know when they get one how they work and stuff. So there you go. Outpost Survival Tip of the Week is get you a shovel, a folding shovel, and put it in your car, put it in your bug out bag, keep it where you can get to it. Me and my bug out bag, actually, I don't have a shovel. I have a machete, and the machete has a flat end that's like, so I can use it as a shovel if I wanted to. So I've got a machete that has a big end that I can use to dig with. And in fact, I have used my machete to dig a hole and then cut the roots and stuff like that. So I've got a fat head machete that I think it's made in like Czechoslovakia or Yugoslavia or something like that. So yeah. So that was the Outpost Survival Tip of the Week. Yeah. Where is this? Outpost Survival Tip of the Week. All right. So now we're going to do back in the day. So back in the day, we had these things called beepers. Other people called them pagers. Beepers, pagers. So we're going to go over what a beeper is, what a pager is. A pager, also known as a beeper or a bleeper, is a wireless telecommunication device that receives and displays alphanumeric or voice messages. One-way pagers can only receive messages, while response pagers or two-way pagers can also acknowledge and reply to the original message using an internal transmitter. When pagers, when I first got a pager, it looked almost just like that one right there. They also have the ones with the buttons on the top. I was going to bring one, but I couldn't find my old pager. I think I had a blue one at one point. I had a black one. You could get different cases and stuff. So pagers operate as part of a paging system, which includes one or more fixed transmitters. In the case of response pagers and two-way pagers, one or more base stations are used, as well as a number of pagers carried by mobile users. These systems can range from restaurant systems with a single low-power transmitter to a nationwide system with thousands of high-powered base stations. Pagers were developed in the 1950s and 1960s and became widely used in the 1980s. In the 21st century, the widespread availability of cell phones and smartphones has greatly diminished the pager industry. Pagers can still be used, though. Emergency service and public safety personnel use pagers. They use modern pager systems that overlap with today's systems, but they also have their own transmission system that doesn't use the cell phone towers. And let's see. Combined with satellite communications, they make paging systems more reliable than terrestrial-based cellular networks. In some cases, including during natural and man-made disasters, where the infrastructure goes down, the satellite's still going to be there. So there are some pagers that actually use satellites to transmit the messages. In Japanese, the commonly called pocket bell, pokeburu. The first telephone pager was patented in 1949 by Alfred J. Gross. The first practical use paging service was launched in 1950 for physicians in New York, in the New York City area. Doctors paid $12 a month. Now, think of this. In the 1950s, $12 a month was a lot of money. They carried a 7-ounce pager that would receive phone messages within 25 miles of a single transmission tower. The system was manufactured by Reeves Sound Company and operated by Tellensworth Phone? I don't know what that is. In 1960, John Francis Mitchell combined the elements of Motorola's walkie-talkie and an automobile radio to create the first transistor pager. And from that time, paging technology continued to advance, and the pager adoption among emergency personnel still popular. Still, as of 2016, they said it was popular. So we don't know. I guess maybe it's still popular. In 1962, the Bell system, the U.S. telephone Monopoly presented its Bellboy radio paging system. Look how big that thing is. The Pageboy 2 in the 1970s. Look how big that is. Man, that's huge. And it's a Motorola. Man, Motorola was doing stuff way back in the day, bro. So it was a commercial system for individuals. It marked the first consumer application of the transistor invented by Bell Labs in 1947. 3 Bell Lab inventors received Nobel Prize in Physics in 1956 for their invention of the thing. So the size of a TV remote control device, when back then TV remote controls were quite big. So, you know, the bellboy would buzz. It had one single audible buzz that buzzed. When the pager buzzed, the user would call a service center, and then the service center would give the person their message. So you were paged, you went to a phone, you said, "Hey, I was just paged," and they go, "Yeah, this is the message," and that's how that worked. In the 1980s, paging became popular among emergency personnel, and then they started to send actual messages to the phones in the 80s. So you could send a message, and the first pager I had, you could just receive messages, you couldn't send messages. And then later on, I got a beeper that you could send messages, you can respond to the messages you had gotten. So if somebody else had a beeper, you could communicate between the two pagers that way. But it costs money. Like, you had to pay for every text message you sent. So, you know, that's basically the way those went. Look at this. There you go. I had one of these, Motorola Bravo. This thing, I had one of these, Motorola Bravo. See how it only has like okay, I've received this, and it's got an on button, it's got a lock button, and then it has this screen, and the screen would display your message to let you know, this person and this phone number called you or whatever. And before you could actually send text messages or messages through there, what we would do is we would just figure out how to do messages using letter or numbers. So you could do rudimentary messages using numbers. Like if there was an emergency, we would hit 911 or whatever. Call me back. It's an emergency would be the person's phone number and then 911 after that. So, yeah. So there were beepers or tone-only pagers. There was voice tone pagers, enabled users to listen to a recorded voice message when an alert is received. There was numeric pagers, which had an LCD screen on it and generally displayed up to 10 digits. There were alphanumeric pagers. That's the one I got second. The first one I got was a numeric one. Second one I got was alphanumeric. Response pagers are alphanumeric pagers equipped with a built-in transmitter, and you could acknowledge or confirm a message. Two-way pagers had a built-in QWERTY keyboard. So you could reply to messages. Those were like really, really expensive. One-way modems and then two-way modems. So that's the Outpost, no, it's not Outpost. That's the back in the day pagers. In the life was better before we were all glued to our cell phones. I would agree with that, Mrs. Onyx. Oh my gosh, I'm kicking my table. Hold on, don't move, table. Yeah, I would agree. So, and back in the day, if you were not around a phone, if you were not around a payphone or a phone, people couldn't get a hold of you, and you couldn't get a hold of other people. And then when pagers came around, that changed everything, because you could be out like away from a phone for an extended period of time, and somebody could send you a message and you would know what's up. Or you could respond to a message and let people know, I'm okay, I'm good, kind of thing. And now it's to the point where people just there's this thing now, my wife and I were discussing this earlier. There's this thing now called cell phone neck. It's where the back of your neck, right between your where your neck and the area right between your shoulder blades, the top of your shoulder blades, hurts really bad. That's from looking down at your phone. It uses those muscles there, and actually it's an actual a thing. It's an actual medical thing now. So that was the back in the day. Back in the day. Oh, gotta get off of that. So, who's that? Who are we gonna have to call? We're gonna call Joe. Well, before we do that, remember the trivia question today is, what mammal does not have vocal cords? What mammal does not have vocal cords? Let me know in the comments if you know the answer. What mammal does not have vocal cords? Okay. And don't say a pug, because them things are screaming. I know they have vocal cords because they could scream. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, you know what? If you like the show, you could send us fan mail, care of Comedy Vets, P.O. Box 369, Lathrop, Missouri 64465. And if you're an angry feminist, you can send us hate mail, HATEMALE, care of Comedy Vets, P.O. Box 369, Lathrop, Missouri 64465. Actually, I was at the post office today, and I talked to the lady that puts my mail in, or puts the mail in the P.O. box, and she asked me about that hate mail thing, and I explained it to her, and she goes, well, that makes sense. Sometimes you got to get mail from people who don't like you. And that's the best way to do it, is to let them send you mail. Yeah, dude, send me mail. I keep moving over to that side. I don't know why. This is where I'm supposed to be, right? Right here is where I'm supposed to be, like right there. But I keep moving that way. I don't know. Maybe because I'm used to having... oh, no. Oh, my gosh. That was loud. Bro, you're loud. All right, that's better. Now I'm positioned where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. All right then. Oh, you'll notice in the past shows, if you're watching one of the shows that is not live, if you're looking at the archives on YouTube, whatever, in the description there are chapter links where you can jump between chapters of the show. So if there's a segment, they call them chapters, we call them segments. So if there's a segment you really like and you want to jump straight to that segment and watch it, you can click that and go directly to the segment. Hopefully you'll watch one of the segments you like. And eventually what we're going to do is make playlists of specific segments. So it'll be just nothing but that segment on that playlist. So that'll be fun. You guys will be able to check that out. So we're gonna get Joe on the phone. You can hear the phone ringing. I'm talking about the phone. I'm thinking about.
Yo.
I'm thinking about doorbell ringing. Ring it. What's up? Hey, Joe.
Yo.
Joe Chandler.
What's up?
I can hear you. Say it again.
Yo, what's up? It's Joe Chandler.
Joe, what's up? It's Joe Chandler. That is Joe Chandler right there. So I said that is Joe Chandler right there.
Yeah.
That is. I gotta move my microphone. Hold on. There. That's better. This one too. I gotta move this one too. There. Did you hear me move my microphone?
Yeah, but barely.
Well, see, there you go. Can you hear my heater going?
No.
You can't hear my heater going. That's good. So, Joe's got a bunch of stuff he's going to be doing with us today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to start off with welcome to the show, Joe.
Thank you.
We're going to start off with lisping lyrics, but for some reason I didn't put a shortcut to lisping lyrics on here. Why did I not?
Not this time, huh?
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't put a shortcut. Oh well, I'll just go over here and make lisping lyrics a thing.
All right.
Lower. That's stupid. All right, lisping lyrics. We're gonna do lisping lyrics.
Okay.
Yeah? Yeah.
So did he read the lyrics yet?
I did not, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull it up here in a minute
Okay.
and let people see it. I'm gonna put your button for lisping lyrics on here.
Okay. All right. So the song is Zombified. By the
Zombified.
band. Yeah, it's
Zombified.
Zombified.
Okay.
By the band Falling in Reverse.
Okay.
Oh.
So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the lyrics.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna pull up the lyrics so people can see what we're looking at.
Okay.
Okay. Zombified, song by Falling in Reverse. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the monsters aren't living under your bed because they are the voices in your head. Zombified by the lies they've said. We've become the Walking Dead because everybody talking. Oh no! They'll never.
Did you leave out bitch?
Yeah, I left out bitch.
Why?
I'm sorry. Well, did I think you wanted me to say bitch?
Well, I guess it's okay. I've been saying shit all day.
Oh, all right.
And who knows? I mean, bitch is okay to say on TV now.
True.
Because it might be them talking about a dog.
Right.
So yeah.
It's bitching. All right.
Yeah, like bitch and Camaro.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. My Dr. Pepper's hot because it was up against the heater.
Oh.
Don't put your Dr. Pepper against the heater.
No. That will heat it up.
Yeah. So. Oh no.
Okay. Yeah. Oh no. They'll never let go of something you said 10 years ago. They're canceling you. So
it's a woke this week lyrics.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
It's a woke this week lyrics.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, okay.
So it's talking about like people canceling you. And they won't stop till everybody's zombified. They're pumping us with lies like it's formaldehyde. We're dead inside. It goes on and on. Let this go. When it stops, we'll never know. We're that word.
Hypnotized?
Yes. And it won't stop till you're zombified. You better shut your mouth and bite your tongue.
Hold on. Wait.
Oh, yeah. What?
Here's an easy way to remember how to do that word. Okay. Do you remember my magic show that I used to do?
Yeah.
Where I would hippotie people?
Oh, yeah.
Hippotie. You could just say hippotie and people won't even know what you're saying. I mean, they'll know. They'll think you're saying hypnotized. Hypnotized. Yeah. Okay.
Hippotied.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, so you better shut your mouth and bite your tongue because you don't want to piss off anyone. We're traumatized by the damage done. Welcome to America because everybody's talking, bitch. And then it repeats itself.
It repeats itself, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So it repeats itself.
Yeah, and then there's a new verse. They're feeding off your broken mind. They won't die. They multiply. we've become so fucking blind they won't stop till you're zombified.
Pick it up. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming that's how that goes. Because that's what it says. Is this a song you know?
Yeah.
You listen to that crap?
Yes, I do.
What genre is that?
So, like metalcore, I would say.
Did you say metalcore?
Yeah.
Are you talking about like metal with like guitar? I mean computer stuff?
No, like
Metal with like rap?
part metal, yet also part hardcore punk.
Okay.
But really, it's I don't know. It's not really like metalcore. It's more like new metalish.
Okay. Well, you lost me at new metal.
New metal, like NU new.
Yeah, I know. I'm just not into new metal.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't get it. I don't. Like Five Finger Death Punch, I consider to be new metal.
they're not though.
Close enough. Whatever, man. We're going to see Exodus in April.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've seen Exodus a few times.
Yeah.
Exodus, making metal great again.
Really? Is that?
They have
is that the
bumper
name?
stickers that says "Making Metal Great Again," but no, that's Exodus. Toxic Walls, Cajun Hell.
Yeah.
Blood In, Blood Out.
So they are a Christian metal band, right?
No,
Oh, they're not?
no.
Oh.
Exodus is definitely not a Christian metal band. No.
Well, why did they name themselves after a book of the Bible?
Exodus. Exodus means to leave.
Well, yeah, but it's also
A book in the
like,
Bible.
when people hear Exodus, they think of Moses and shit.
Yeah, no, yeah. If you knew anything about metal, yeah. They were like, you remember that band? What's it called? What's that stupid band called? Metallica. That band Metallica,
Yeah, I think I've heard of them.
Their
Yeah.
guitar guy that was in there in Metallica, the guitar guy, the Kirk Hammett. He started out in Exodus.
Oh.
Exodus.
Okay.
Exodus was doing speed metal and metal before Metallica. And then when Kirk Hammett went to Metallica to join the band there to replace Dave Mustaine, then he took some of his riffs with him.
Oh.
But Exodus there's a couple Exodus songs that you're like, wow, that riff sounds really familiar. It's because it's in the Metallica stuff too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you're gonna pontificate also? Was that the end of Lisping lyrics?
Well, yeah, but like you want to talk about it? Because I think it's
Okay.
something you would like. The lyrics talking about like cancel culture, basically.
Well, acknowledging that cancel culture exists, I guess that's cool and everything, but
Yeah.
cancel culture exists.
Well, especially since it's like the band's not a Republican band, they're not right wing, they're more liberal. So
That's like Trevor Noah recently coming out saying that if Trump was still in office, this stuff going on in Ukraine wouldn't be happening, and you would never have him begging the Sudan for oil the way Biden is. I agree with what Trevor Noah is saying, but does that mean make me a fan of his now? No.
well, why aren't you a fan of him in the first place?
Man, that dude's such a hack. Like he spent 2 years just doing nothing bashing Trump and Trump supporters. Actually, he spent like 4 years bashing Trump supporters and Trump.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he still has a job. You know what I mean?
Why you say that? Everybody was bashing Trump.
No, not everybody was bashing Trump. Not the way that guy was. He was just making shit up. That guy was just a dick. Yeah, I guess the lyrics are cool and stuff. So yeah, Zombified. What are your opinion on the lisping lyric thing? On the Zombified.
Well, like I said, I think it's cool that, if you like that is coming from the different side, but, and, like,
We both agree that this cancel culture thing is stupid.
yes, but we don't agree on, like, I was saying that
Cancel
cancel
culture.
culture has been going on for years. It's just, it's switching sides now. Like, so Christians were canceling stuff, and there were a lot of stuff that was not mainstream because of Christians canceling it. Sometimes even before it got,
Before it got popular, yeah.
Like, get example that's not that long ago, like 2008, I think. The Golden Compass. You remember that movie?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So, as soon as they announced that they were making the movie, there were protests and people saying that they were going to, like, boycott certain theaters if they played that movie, and it got, like, really bad press, and so that kind of hurt the box office, and caused the franchise to die even before it started, because they were going to, like, make it a franchise with several movies,
Oh.
but Christians stopped it. And you know why?
No, why?
So the book is basically like a Lion, Witch, and a Wardrobe. The Chronicles.
Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah, Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah.
So it's basically like a knock on Chronicles of Narnia, which was a Christian story, and it's focuses on atheists. It's like an atheist story.
So the Golden Compass was an atheist story?
Yeah.
I don't see why that would be a problem.
Well, it's a problem with a lot of Christians because
Dude,
it was
I went to a church
targeted towards kids.
I went to a church that wouldn't let their kids watch certain cartoons because animals talked. They wouldn't let them watch Veggie Tales because vegetables were talking. And that was demonic.
Wow.
Yeah, but that makes that person who's saying that stupid. Doesn't make the whole church stupid, it just makes that one person stupid.
True.
Yeah. So we agree on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that we agree on that.
Yeah.
All right then.
Okay.
So we're going to Joe. Joe pontificates.
Yeah.
So we're gonna switch back from this to this. Boom. Joe pontificates. So Joe, what do you like thinking about?
So I'm thinking about the Florida don't say gay bill. You heard about this yet?
I have.
Yeah. So what's your take on it?
It has nothing to do with Don't Say Gay.
Oh,
Like they're calling it the Don't Say Gay bill, but it's not called the Don't Say Gay bill,
right.
and it has nothing to do with Don't Say Gay. Like they're
Okay.
making it that to try to turn it into something that it's not.
Yeah.
So defining it as Don't Say Gay is actually changing what it actually is. I agree with the bill, by the way.
Okay.
Do you agree with the bill?
Well, no, I don't. And
Do you disagree with the bill because it's you want people to be able to say gay?
well, okay. No.
Even though that's not what the
Here's
bill
why
is.
I disagree with the bill.
You
think-
disagree?
Huh?
Oh, yeah, you disagree. Okay, go ahead.
I disagree with it. Okay. Because for the simple fact of what school in the world with is teaching kindergarteners and up to third graders, which is what they specify on.
Yeah.
Who's teaching them about sex?
There are schools in California that are actually teaching about sex all the way to kindergarten.
Like what? How though? Like how are they speaking about sex and sexuality?
Well, specifically, there's a lady that actually says masturbation is okay, touching yourself is fine, and you need to explore that. And if you're attracted to another person and you want them to touch you, it doesn't matter if they're a boy or a girl. If you're okay with it, then it's okay. So there's a lady. Yes. That's how she was. I actually heard the audio and saw the video of the lady actually saying that, and she was telling this to a group of teachers. This is what we're encouraging you to teach to your kindergartners. And she had a thing on the board behind her, and she said masturbation, and she was pointing at it and talking about how it's okay because small children explore their body all the time, and it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay to be talking to 5-year-olds or kindergartners about sex in any way, shape, or form.
You're right. I agree, and the teacher should be fired.
But she's not, because it's California law. There's a law in California that says that not only is it okay for them to teach these things, but they're expected to teach these things.
Okay. But that's California.
Well, yeah, but other states are adopting what California is doing. So,
okay.
And we're talking about Florida with their the bill that is not the Don't Say Gay bill. That's not what it's called. Anyway, So Florida, in anticipation that there's going to be the teachers' unions, and by the way, a majority of teachers are forced to join the teachers' union, but don't agree with the teachers' union. So teachers' unions are taking what California law is and trying to make that law in Florida and circumvent, because if there's no law saying you can't say this, and they're trying to implement that into the curriculum in Florida. You get what I'm saying? So they're taking the curriculum from California and trying to implement it in Florida. And what this law is doing is saying, hey, you can't implement this curriculum.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying, but I still think it's like a big. They're freaking out about nothing. I seriously don't think that teachers will start talking about sex.
They already do, is my point.
Okay, in California.
Well, there are some other states where teachers are talking about sex, sexuality, and things of that nature. There are even teachers who are having the children do the Pledge of Allegiance to the gay flag. Pete Buttigieg's husband was at a camp for gay kids, little kids and having them do the Pledge of Allegiance to the gay flag. But they also had teachers that were saying, we don't have an American flag in our room. We still do the Pledge of Allegiance, but we do the Pledge of Allegiance to that flag. And she points at the gay flag. So they're teaching sexuality to kids, and they're teaching sex to children.
Okay.
So let's say you're right. Let's play devil's advocate on your side, okay? Let's say they're not teaching that in schools in Florida, and the only place they're teaching it is in California, right? What they're doing with the law in Florida with this bill is they're trying to say, if anyone tries to implement this here, they won't be able to do it, because how much damage is going to happen to these kids if they have teachers who are teaching it, and then they have to go through the process of implementing the bill. There's going to take time. It's going to take time to do that, to implement the bill, and there's already going to be damage done. So even in the other instance where there's no teachers doing what they're doing in California, none in Florida are doing that. Let's just say that's true. This is to prevent that from happening in the future.
Okay.
Because it can happen in the future, right? If there's one school or a bunch of schools in one state doing it, then the potential is there that the teachers in the state you're in could start doing it. So let's make a law saying that they can't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think it's very, very disingenuous of people to name a bill, like all the news people and all these people on the left, calling it something that is absolutely not, and basically trying to make everybody think that if you disagree with the bill, or if you agree with the bill, then you are somehow homophobic, when that's not the case. Because nobody's anti-gay by saying we support this bill. But that's what they're trying to make it out to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Don't Kick Puppies bill?
No.
It was actually a bill named the Don't Kick Puppies bill.
Okay.
The bill had nothing to do with puppies or not kicking puppies. But they wanted people to agree with it, so they gave it a name that people would agree with, so that they could push a specific agenda that had nothing to do with puppies. This is another way that they're doing it, where they're saying, this bill, we're going to give it a name to have people disagree with it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're
hear what you're
attributing to it something that it shouldn't be attributed to it. Don't you think that's wrong?
But when the bill is specifically talking about, you can't talk about sexual orientation. So it goes, well, for one, the bill is very broad. Okay. So it's hard to tell if it would be illegal for a teacher to mention, like, hey, Johnny, talk about your family. And Johnny goes, well, I have 2 dads. So people are afraid that the bill is going to prevent that from happening. That you can't even talk about little Johnny having 2 dads.
The separation of church and state thing, where they were trying to take prayer out of school, does that prevent a student from being able to say, when somebody says, tell us about your family, oh, my dad's a pastor and my mom is a choir leader?
No,
it doesn't. Okay, and this law
and
wouldn't prevent a child from talking about it. It prevents the teachers from introducing it to the children.
Okay.
But if the children talk about it, that's the same stuff they're going to talk about in the playground. But it's not the teacher introducing it to the children. It's the children introducing it to each other. You know, when I was in high school, we had a drama teacher that introduced all of the students to chocolate covered coffee beans. Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone in the theater department was getting chocolate covered coffee beans, and they were getting like the shakes and stuff like that. So we were eating it way too much, right? Well, there were some parents that didn't allow their kids to have didn't allow their kids to have coffee, and didn't want their kids to have coffee. So the teacher was reprimanded for giving the kids coffee beans, right? And it was actually then turned into a rule within the county that teachers can't give coffee beans to students. But other students can give coffee beans to other students. But teachers can't. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what it's saying is teachers can't do certain things. It's limiting what teachers can and cannot say, or it's limiting what the curriculum can and cannot be. Which is good. It's okay. I think.
Right. But what about the fact that, like, okay, so it's not in a bill now. They took it out. But an earlier version of the bill said that it required principals to tell parents if a kid came out as gay.
I would have no problem with that.
Okay, so
anytime a teacher or a educator keeps something away from the parents that the parents should know, it's wrong. Not only that, but there are parents that are being reprimanded for treating their children a certain way because they don't know. They're not being told that their kid is trans or bi or gay or whatever. So they go to like a football game and they're talking to their kid, you know, and their kid is telling everybody else that their pronoun is Z, them, whatever. But the mom and dad doesn't know that. So then the mom and dad get yelled at or beat up or whatever for treating their kid negatively, even though they had no idea. Parents should be informed. Parents should be informed of this. Just like parents should be informed of, you know, the schools taking kids off of campus to during school to have abortions. Did you know that that's a thing?
Wait, say that again?
Parents or teachers can take students to go get an abortion during school hours without having to tell the parents. They can also take them to go get birth control pills without having to tell the parents in a lot of states. Did you know that?
Well, I think kids should be able to get birth control before they're 18 without a parent's permission.
Well, no, that's not the point. The point is that it's teachers taking kids out of school to go do a medical procedure without the parents knowing. That's a medical procedure that the parents don't know about.
Yeah, but some parents shouldn't be parents.
Yeah, but who's to say which parents shouldn't be parents?
Well, it's clearly not that child services, because they do a lousy job on that.
Should it be the teachers? Should teachers just say, you know what? I don't think this parent is a good parent, so I'm going to go ahead and do whatever I want, whatever's in the best interest of this kid, regardless of what the parent thinks. That's wrong. It's wrong for a school or a teacher or a government agency to parent children and to leave the parents out of the parenting process. It's wrong. If you don't agree with the way a parent is parenting, then try to teach the parent, try to talk to the parent, but you can't. If I was trying to force you to make your kids go to church every day, or to say prayer, or whatever it is, or to practice Lent, Lent during the Catholic Lent.
Yeah, I know Lent.
Okay, so what if I, as a teacher, try to force all of the students to observe Lent or to do communion? Would that be wrong?
According to the law, yes, it would be.
Well,
Teachers can't force religion.
they can't force religion, but they're forcing religion the opposite way all the time.
Abortions have nothing to do with religion.
Well, if my religion is anti-abortion and the school decides to let my kid have an abortion, then that is violating my religious rights, is it not?
Well, if your religion is anti-pork, are the schools not allowed to offer pork to your kid?
That's 100% correct. If
So
your kid's a Muslim,
wants to eat pork,
yes, if your kid's a Muslim, and the parents say, "Don't feed my kid pork," and the school feeds that kid pork, that school can be in trouble for feeding the kid pork.
okay.
Yes. Also, it goes along the same lines. If a parent gives, if a parent's doctor gives a kid an inhaler or something for allergies or a medication that they're supposed to take, the teacher or the parent takes it to the school, tells the school, gives it to the nurse. The nurse puts
Right.
it into a thing and writes their name on it. At the designated time, the student comes into the nurse's office. The nurse gives them whatever it is that they're supposed to give them, and then the student goes back to class. It would also be wrong for that nurse to not give the student their medication when they're supposed to have their medication.
Yeah.
If the parents told them, hey, and the parent's doctor, the doctor of the kid, said that they needed to get it. It's wrong for schools and teachers to assert themselves into a situation for medical purposes and parenting purposes, especially medical purposes. You're not a doctor, you're a teacher. You should not be making medical decisions, and you should not be taking the kid to see a doctor. Anything that has to do with medical anything should not be has anything to do with the teacher at all. Teacher shouldn't have anything to do with that. Just like that one girl that they had her go after school to this like a gender reassignment class, and they convinced her that she was transgender, and at school she was transgender, but outside of school she was not. She didn't tell anybody outside of school that she was transgender. But at school, they told her that she was transgender. They said she was, and she said she was, right? Come to find out, when they read her diary, she was only saying that at school because she didn't want to be the outcast at school. She didn't want to be picked on at school for not being transgender. And then she ended up killing herself. So
Why?
Because she was pressured into being something that she wasn't by the school, and then they never told the mother. And then when the mother found out after the girl killed herself and read her diary and was like, you're changing my kid's gender, changing my kid's identity, gender identity at school, and then making it a situation where she's got this problem going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was wrong. That was wrong of that teacher. That teacher's culpable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, so my position is teachers, administrators, schools should not be having anything to do with teaching kids about sexuality at a young age until they hit puberty, and then they explain the changes you're going through. This is why you're going through the changes you're going through. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I do, but how about this? I remember, I don't know if they did it when you were a kid because you're so much older than me, but when I was a kid, I remember in like 3rd grade, 2nd grade, they would show videos that was basically, they were aimed towards little kids, right? And it was basically like, if you're getting molested at home, let us know.
Yeah.
Now, getting molested is sexual. So is that going to be illegal now?
Well, they shouldn't be talking about those kind of things, but that's an exception in that you need to let kids know if somebody's touching you in a way that's inappropriate. The problem is that now they're teaching kids that whatever touching is not inappropriate. You know what I mean? It's okay to teach kids that if you're being touched inappropriately, to tell an adult, right?
Right. Yes.
That's okay. It's not okay to tell kids that all this touching that these other people are doing is okay. That's all right. And you touch yourself. And if you want to touch other people, that's okay. And it doesn't matter who they are if they touch you, boy or girl, grown up or not. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're teaching kids. They're grooming kids. You know what I'm saying, G?
Yeah,
I think
I
you
hear
and I
you.
agree a lot more than you think.
What did he say?
I think you and I agree a lot more than you think we agree.
Right. Well, I mean, I agree they shouldn't be teaching certain sexual stuff to kids, you know.
Yeah.
I just don't agree that they, can't mention that there's different sexual orientations.
But they're going further than just saying that there's different orientations. They're saying that this orientation, this is what you like to do. And they explain what that orientation likes to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't just say there are boys that like boys, and that's gay, and there are girls that like girls, and that's lesbian, and there are girls that like girls and boys, and that's bi. They go beyond that to describe what it is that they do. Dude, I remember sex ed class. They taught us how to put a condom on a banana. But I was a
Right.
teenager.
But what grade were you in?
It was like freshman or junior in high school.
Yeah.
But I'd
just
already hit
still-
puberty. So we'd already been talking about these things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just still don't believe that there are schools that are actually like teaching young kids stuff.
Yeah, they do. Okay, I'll send you links.
Okay.
Then that way we can look at the links and stuff. We're gonna break down. We're gonna do a breakdown now
All right.
because we've been on that way too long. Joe pontificates. Breakdown. The entertainment breakdown. So we're breaking down the movie Shooter. We're breaking down the movie Shooter with Mark Wahlberg,
Marky Mark.
Marky Mark, and the Funky Bunch. That's what he called his what was in his underwear, his Funky Bunch. Cause after he sweat a lot, it was funker. Anyway,
Yeah.
so the movie Shooter. Let me read the synopsis of it. A marksman living in exile is coaxed back into action after learning of a plot to kill the president. After being double-crossed for the attempt, he went on the run and he sets out for the real killer and the truth. So he's looking for the real killer and the truth. So, yeah. So you enjoyed that movie?
Yes, I did. Have you seen the TV show?
No.
Oh, okay. It's basically the same thing, except they, drag it out longer.
They drag it out.
Yeah, so they're able to get more detail and stuff.
Yeah.
There's
More character
more of
development.
the relationship with his exchange. Yeah, the wife.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, Mark Wahlberg is a great actor.
Yeah, I like the way he acts. I thought for sure that when he was like, okay, so in one of the opening scenes, he's a sniper in some other country, probably the Middle East somewhere. I don't know where it was, and he's sniping and he's behind enemy lines, and he has a spotter with him. And Melissa and I were like, wouldn't it be funny if they pan over and his spotter is Ted?
The bear.
The bear. Oh my God! Did you just see that guy? Oh, you need to hit that guy. Oh, there's another guy coming. That would be funny as shit. Okay, so in this movie, basically, the breakdown is spoiler alert, bunch of spoilers coming. This dude's a sniper. He was in the military. He was a really good sniper. He had a really high success rate. He can shoot people from long distances. He was really good at what he was doing. And he was out there sniping, and his best friend was his spotter. And he was left behind enemy lines, and the people that they were sniping basically, took out his partner. He had to leave his partner's body behind and get back to civilization. He gets back to civilization, and he's living in the woods, away from everybody, just trying to live his life with his dog. And the government comes a calling saying, hey, there's a plot that we heard about that the president's going to be shot, and they said it's going to be a specific distance, and we want to hire you to tell us how you would do it if you would do it. So we need you to recon and tell us how you would do it, right?
Yeah.
Am I going along the right lines?
Yeah, you are.
So then he doesn't want to do it, and then he does a practice shot to see how accurate he would be shooting at that distance, and he was pretty accurate shooting at that distance. And then he decides to go do the recon thing, and he does the recon thing, and then the day of the incident, he was telling him all this stuff, what's going on or whatever, and telling him a whole bunch of stuff, and someone else shoots, but instead of shooting the president, they shoot it's Ethiopia. He was in Ethiopia. At the beginning of the movie, he was in Ethiopia.
Okay.
That's where he was, Ethiopia. Anyway, so he shoots the Ethiopian ambassador or Ethiopian guy. Or no, somebody shoots the Ethiopian guy. And then the cop that's in the room with Mark Wahlberg shoots Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg jumps out the window and gets away. So he gets away. And then Ponch from Chips runs into him, and it's like he's an FBI agent, but he's the guy from Chips who played Ponch in the movie. Yeah. And then he's beat up, and then Mark Wahlberg steals that guy's car, and then that guy goes through the process of trying to find out what was going on. So anyway, it was a setup, right?
Yeah.
So
no. Wasn't it set up by
the government?
Yeah, but specifically, the main guy was his old lieutenant or something.
No. The guy in the wheelchair?
Yeah, maybe that's a series. I don't know.
The guy in the wheelchair was another sniper that they set up in the exact same way. The other guy in the wheelchair was set up the exact same way, ended up going to work for them when he was paralyzed and put in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
They trapped him in a building that collapsed on him, and then he went to work for them. So this thing got a 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb. So they say it's popular right now. It's a popular one. So what's your take on it? Anything I leave out?
No,
Yeah.
just Mark Wahlberg is a really good actor.
Mark Wahlberg is a really good actor. Mark Wahlberg knows how to act. Yeah. All right then.
He's a better actor than a rapper.
Yeah. He's a better actor than a musician.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, then that's the end of the segment. Thanks for being on the show, Joe. Very entertaining.
Thank you for having me. And you have like 5 minutes, so.
Yeah, I'm doing like Pathetic Pet of the Week now at the end of this. So you did a good job. Everybody did a good job today. Proud of everybody doing a good job today.
Yeah.
So
thanks.
anything else before I let you go?
No.
No. Okay. All right then. All right, later, Joe.
All right. See ya.
Later. That was Joe Chandler. Yeah. That breakdown. There was probably more stuff to the breakdown that we could have talked about, but yeah, it is what it is. So now we're going to talk about the, you know what? If you want to send us fan mail, care of Comedy Vets, P.O. Box 369, Lathrop, Missouri 64465. If you're an angry feminist, send us hate mail, MALE, care of Comedy Vets, P.O. Box 369, Lathrop, Missouri 64465. And now we're going to do the Pathetic Pet of the Week. The Pathetic Pet of the Week this week is Pathetic Pet of the Week this week is Chance. Some people pronounce his name Chauncey, but that's not how you pronounce it. It's Chance, not Chauncey. This is Chance. And this is Chance in a cage, in a kennel. So this is Chance just hanging out there. Yeah. That's, I guess, a picture of him in his kennel. Chance. Chance is a Chihuahua mix. He's in Blue Springs, Missouri. He's a senior male, small, yellow, tan, blonde fawn. He's got a short coat. He's good in a home with other dogs, cats, and children. The adoption fee for him is $150. All his shots are up to date. And he's apparently a special needs puppy. Here we go. Meet Chance. He was brought to a veterinarian for euthanasia. So they were going to put him down after his owner was needing to go into a nursing home. The vet contacted Opportunities to adopt. They contacted Opportunities to arrange for them to take him into their care to find him a great home to spend the rest of his years in. Chance is mostly blind. That's his special need. He's mostly blind and occasionally has an accident in the home, which means he pees or poops in the house. He is an absolute sweetheart. He's good with dogs and cats. His adoption fee is only $150. It includes neuter, deworming, topical flea and tick, heartworm preventative. He's had a negative heartworm test, and he's been microchipped. If you would like to find out more information about adopting Chance, go to Opportunities/adopt. Opportunities is in Blue Springs, Missouri. Or you can give them a call, 816-509-5911. 816-509-5911. That was Chance. Chance. Yep. All right. So that was the Pathetic Pet of the Week. So we're going to get back with the trivia. Trivia snap. The question was, which mammal has no vocal cords? And the answer is the giraffe. The giraffe has no vocal cords. No vocal cords. So that was the trivia question. This has been Married with Comedy. And we is out. Well, no, don't do that. Okay, we're out. Boom. You've been listening to Married with Comedy with Jeff Onyx, with special guest, co-host Joe Chandler and James R. Freeman. Till next week, folks. Peace.